However, in reality that we face is that although we're living in Southeast Asia where, especially in Indonesian context, where the language skills, especially in English, is very important, there are a lot of jobs that requires excellent pronunciation skills. For example, hello everyone, welcome to the video of English phonetics and phonology. Today we are going to discuss about weak form and connected speech. In the end of the video and this learning, it is expected that students are able to practice the weak forms and connected speech in English. Right, before we start, let's take a look at the dilemma that we face. As Indonesians or as English for foreign language learners, it is challenging to fully imitate the way the native speakers speak because we are attached to our mother language accents. So it means that sometimes we in Southeast Asia, it's quite challenging to be as perfect as 100% like the native speaker speaking. However, in reality that we face is that although we're living in Southeast Asia where, especially in Indonesian context, where the language skills, especially in English, is very important, there are a lot of jobs that requires excellent pronunciation skills. For example, become the teachers of English, become the announcers, whether it is for the radio announcer, or announcer in public places, and interpreter, as well as the voiceover artist. So some people may say that as long as your pronunciation is understandable, that would be fine. Yes, that would be fine for the common communications. However, in these jobs, it requires as close to native as possible. Right, so what is the better stance that we are going to take? That we are aware that it needs years, everyone, to do like that we have to be immersed in the native English speaking environments. And not all of us are privileged to do it. Not all of us are exposed to international schools. Not all of us are able to go abroad. And then, how? So with more practice and the help of the technology, it is not impossible for us to perfect our pronunciations for our future clients coming from the diverse background in the future. Now, let's have a reflection, like how do you rate your English pronunciations quality from 1 to 100? Is it in 50? Is it in 60? 75 or 80? Right, so here's the things to start with before we comes to the idea of weak forms and connected speech in English. This is my suggestions. Whenever we find the difficult vocabularies and some vocabularies that we're not sure how to pronounce that one, my suggestion is always refer to the online dictionary where it provides the samples of the sounds, and you can choose whether it is in British English or American English. Like some of students, I give them the recommendations to use Cambridge Dictionary because it is clearer and it is more practical. But you can use like the Oxford Dictionary or any kinds of dictionary that provides the models of the pronunciations. Now, in the pronunciations itself, there are 3 things that we need to consider. Number 1 is that how many syllables in that word. Number 2 is where are the stress? Is it in first syllable or second syllable? And number 3, are there any silent letters? Silent letters, everyone. Okay, now let's take a look at the samples that I give you in the video. Number 1 is this word. D, E, F, I, N, I, T, E, L, Y. How to pronounce that one? Now let's check the phonetic transcriptions. It is pronounced definitely. Definitely. Right? Definitely. Right? So in this context, how many syllables do we have? Definitely. 4 syllables. And where is the stress? So let's take a look at the phonetic transcriptions. If you find like the apostraphs right there, means that is the stress. So the stress here is in the first syllable. Definitely. So when it comes to stress, it's like you have the high tones on this. Definitely. It's not in second syllable like definitely or definitely or definitely. Right. And then, are there silent letters in the words definitely? Yes, if you compare the phonetic transcriptions and also the word, then the silent letter is in E, indefinite, the last word after T. Now let's take a look at the second example on how I give you the word T, H, R, O, U, G, H. How it is pronounced? Some people, if you take it for granted, you may pronounce truk, but it should be through, through. Th sound, r sound, and u sounds. Okay? So how many syllables? 1 syllable. The stress? There's no stress because it's only 1 syllable. Are there any silent letters on that one? The answer is yes. The silent letter of G, the silent letters of H, because it is pronounced through, through. Okay? Now what about the third word? It's D, E, L, I, C, I, O, U, S. Can you guess it? Yes, let's check the the phonetic transcriptions. It's delicious. It's not delicious, but delicious. How many syllables? Delicious. 3 syllables. Where is the stress? Delicious. Second syllable. Not the first like delicious or delicious, but delicious. Okay? Are there any silent letters in that words? The answer is yes. There is no U in delicious. Okay? So that's the things that we need to consider whenever we compare the word and also the phonetic transcriptions, so we cannot take it for granted. Now, let's move to the second part, which is the weak form in English. So there are several groups of weak form in English, so let's explain one by one. The first one is the group of prepositions. Second one is the group of pronouns. Third one is the group of articles. And the fourth one is the group of auxiliary. So what is actually weak forms? So weak form means that there are a way to pronounce in weaker way. That means there is a weak form and there is a strong form. For example, let's take a look at the group 1 of prepositions. We have the word at, like at the markets, like at the markets. But the weak form of at is at. And then the weak form of as is as. The weak form of but is but. The weak form of for is for. The weak form of from is from. The weak form of is of. The weak form of to is to. Right. So how do we use this in the sentence? So I will give you the examples after this. Now, number 2 is the group of weak form in pronouns, or I just call it as a group 2. Group 1 is prepositions, group 2 is pronouns. We have the strong form our, but the weak form is are. The strong form is her, but the weak form is or her. And then him, the weak form is him, without h sounds in the beginning. The weak forms of you is you or you. Okay, so it's like the lazy pronunciations. And then group 3 is article. You usually have a banana, or the weak form is a banana. And then the is also still there, but maybe we do not need to really give a stress on that word. Okay, right. The fourth one is the weak form in the groups of auxiliary. So we have am, but it's pronounced are, but it's pronounced was is pronounced was, were is pronounced were, been is pronounced been, shall is pronounced shall, should is pronounced should, can is pronounced can, yes, and then could is pronounced could. Then we have also do is pronounced d, and then does is pronounced does. Will is pronounced l, and then would is pronounced would or d only, and then must is pronounced must, and then had is pronounced had or d, and then has is pronounced his or is, and then have is pronounced have or her. Now,
Lampung, the Treasures of Sumatra, is a province that becomes the gateway to the Sumatra Island. Lampung has 2 municipalities and 13 districts, consisting of 234 sub-districts. The province, with an area of 35,587 km squares, owns millions of extraordinary natural beauty. Education in Lampung province is also highly considered and colored by the existence of Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia has 3 faculties and 12 study programs. Faculty of Engineering and Computer Sciences with the 6 study programs: Electrical Engineering, Civil Engineering, Computer Engineering, Information Technology, Informatics, and Information System. Faculty of Economics and Business with 2 study programs: Management and Accounting. Faculty of Arts and Educations with 4 study programs: English Literature, Mathematics Education, English Educations, and Physical Education. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia believes that education is the key to the advancements of a nation. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia commits to produce and develop future leaders through the education of quality characters. This receives a very good reception and trust from the community, which is marked by an increasing interest in students from year to year. The students and lecturers have lots of achievements and awards. Also, our quality is recognized by National Accreditation Board for Higher Education and many international collaborations. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia also prepares the students to face the globalization's era through the use of digital technology. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia has a number of representative facilities provided to support the learning process, such as comfortable classroom, laboratories, information technology, and the internet. Our vision is to be an excellent university in Sumatra with international standard and able to play an active role in nation building through three pillars of higher education, comprising education, research, and community service. We have graduated outstanding students who can be accepted in state agencies and other large companies. At Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, the students and lecturers are encouraged to create and innovate by creating products and services that benefit the community through research activities and community services. In an effort to achieve its visions and missions, the academics of Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia are guided by the organizational culture values of discipline, quality, creative, and innovative. To support the quality of learning processes, we have very complete and sophisticated facilities, including digital-based smart classroom, hotspot in campus area, sport facilities, auditorium, and students' hall. Come and be a part of us, the campus of champion, Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia.